Okay, good. Yes, 2022 Board of Selectmen meeting to order. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, now we have video.
Now we have video. But I just know I unplugged it. Oh, you can see me.
Oh, just, okay, yeah.
Which we don't want to see that. Thank you. All right, let me just send them a message because people are wondering. Difficulty.
Is that plugged in?
Light's not even on.
We can hear you.
Okay. All right, let's hope everything stays good. Everybody can still hear me. I will start again. We will call the December 20th, 2022 meeting to order, Board of Selectmen meeting. All three selectmen are present. It is now 7:04 p.m. and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I have to start with the motion. So the minutes were not sent to either of the two selectmen in the meeting packet. Ken, you didn't receive it, did you?
No, I didn't, but I did look them up and read them.
Okay, and I don't think Suzanne did not.
I looked for
look
them
up.
today. I didn't think to go to the website to see if they were posted, so if you want to approve that, if you've read them
Mhm.
and that's fine with me, I'll just abstain
Okay.
if they were.
Ken, and you've read them too?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from December 6th, 2022.
Second.
Okay, motion in a second. Any discussion on these minutes, Ken?
No, they look good.
They look good as always. Dottie does a fabulous job for sure. So with no discussion on those minutes, all in favor of approving the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from December 6th, 2022, say aye.
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 I'll abstain.
Suzanne abstains. All right. Moving on to correspondence. Apparently there was one piece of correspondence that did not come to my desk. It went to the Selectmen's office. So I was not aware that it came to the Board of Selectmen. I thought we were just CC'd on correspondence. But Suzanne pointed out that a letter came in from Crystal Simon from East Thompson Fire Department with some concerns about Putnam EMS. Ken, did you receive that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I didn't have any other correspondence. I believe that was it for the month.
Okay. Ken, did you receive any other correspondence?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All right. There's no other correspondence. We will open the floor for selectmen comments. Any selectmen comments at this time?
I don't have any actual comments to make. We have a hefty agenda, so I'm gonna just wish everyone a happy holiday. And this is our last meeting before next year. So that is my only comment.
Okay, and Ken?
Basically the same. Everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll convene after the first of the year. Please try and be safe. The between the flu, COVID, the cold, it's gotten nasty. That's why I'm not there tonight, because of what's going around. With that, and hope everybody is safe with the storm that's pending Thursday into Friday. There's a lot of potential for 1 to 3 inches of rain and winds and everything, and could be trying, especially coming right up on the holidays, for Saturday. So please, everybody, be safe.
Yeah, and on that note, Ken, the weather forecast that I saw this morning stated that it was going to be a flash freeze. So it was going to be warm and rainy, and then all of a sudden the temperatures are supposed to drop. So everybody should be watching that intently. And if you can avoid travel on Friday evening, for sure, avoid travel. I don't have a lot either. I think probably for the same reason. I want to get into the meat of tonight's meeting. I did want to point out a couple of things. First, I do need to add 2 items to other business tonight. And one would be, which I'll do at the end of my comments, the resignation of Gloria Harvey. That was handed to our Human Resources Director this week.
So you need a motion to, are you gonna do a motion?
Probably for both.
For both?
items. And then the second is we do have a new hire for the maintainer position. I had sent both you and Suzanne the resume so you could look over it ahead of time, ahead of the meeting. And the new hire for a maintainer position is Dakota Froelich. Secondly, I just wanted to point out that our Public Works Department has been very active the last week and a half, 2 weeks, trying to trim back and take down dead trees. That has been their primary focus. They did have the one snowstorm, and still kind of hoping that we don't get too many of those this year. Second piece that I wanted to bring up is we hired our Public Works Director. He started the job on October 31st, and he started to really, inspect the various roads with the coming snow season ahead of us. And the roads on and around Little Pond were extremely in disrepair. Some of the potholes were massive. He sent notice to them to let them know that this was an issue and it was against snowplow policy. But of course, we are supposed to notify private road residents in July that their roads need repair. So our crew has been out there the last few days filling in potholes to try to ensure that our equipment won't be damaged when they're plowing snow this winter around the lake. But most importantly, I had a meeting with the president of the Little Pond Improvement Association, Barbara Roach, Steve Nickerson. Oh God, I'm going to forget the other names. 2 other lake residents, and it was a really productive meeting. We really want to work with them and help the owners of homes on private roads to be able to make sure that their roads are in good repair. But most notable, as we were in conversation, it struck us all that the truth is there's a state boat launch on Lakeview Drive. And the state should in fact be maintaining the roads that lead to that state boat launch. So I have sent letters to Senator Flexer, Representative Hayes, and directors at DEEP that are in charge of boating, And this was the letter that I sent to them. I said, I am writing to request your assistance with a matter on Little Pond, also known as Schoolhouse Pond, here in Thompson. There is a state boat ramp on Little Pond. The road, Lakeview Drive, leading to the boat ramp is in terrible disrepair. These are private roads that are not accepted or maintained by the town of Thompson. Due to the fact that there is a state-regulated boat ramp, it behooves me to request that the state offer assistance in the maintenance and snow removal of not only Lakeview Drive, but with the roads that give access to Lakeview and ultimately the state boat ramp. As you are aware, there is also a state boat ramp at Aquatic Lake, and the state DOT maintains and provides snow removal on the section of Aquatic Town Farm Road leading to the entrance of the state park/boat launch. This is a precedent and should be applied in a similar manner to the road leading to the Little Pond State Boat Ramp. This road is traversed throughout the season with trailers, and the heavy traffic leads to damage on the roadway. The burden of repairs falls on the lake residents, and I am asking for your assistance with this matter and/or to direct me to the appropriate individual. So that was sent to Peter Francis. He is the director of boating at Deep. I hope to get a response back from him. I did receive a response back from May Flexer's office promptly today. And they also messaged Deep to try to set up a meeting. So I hope that we can get some action taken and that the state can actually take charge of this road. Since there is a state boat launch and that has to remain open 24/7, it would be very important for the state to actually step up and take care of something. So,
Could you send it to Jeff Gordon as well?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't have his address, his email address.
Oh, okay.
I will. And yeah, so with that, I'll make a motion that we add to other business tonight, the resignation of Gloria Harvey and the new hire as a maintainer at the Public Works Department of Dakota Furlick. Make that motion.
Second?
Okay. Any discussion on this? Oh, and let me specify. Gloria Harvey is only resigning from planning and zoning,
Okay,
not entirely as a. So
well, you can,
I'll revise my motion to say the resignation of Gloria Harvey from planning and zoning. If you can make that change, Dottie. Any discussion on these two items being added to other business? All in favor of adding these two agenda items to other business, say aye.
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 Aye. And that motion passes. All right, and with this, any other select?
Just one other thing, because you do have it on the website, but some people don't go to our website, the homepage, that the transfer station is closed Saturday, which was
Yes.
great being put up, but that's only going to be open on Friday.
They're open on Friday. They're closed at noon on Saturday. They will be open all morning up until noon. Thank you for saying that, though. I appreciate that. I wasn't thinking of that.
No, but a lot of people, it's a ritual for them to go to the transfer station.
Right. Yeah, and we're trying to allow the employees of the transfer station to enjoy at least half of their Christmas Eve day. So we will be open until noon that day and all day on Friday, correct? All right. With that, we'll move to citizen comments and we will start with the live audience. Any residents in the audience here at the Cine Room, you are free to state your name and address and speak.
Robert Mann, 15 Meadow Drive. I also own property at 52 Fernwood Avenue. My statement is a response to a letter sent to a resident telling the town had no longer going to plow the roads on the east side of Little Pond. This development was created in 1947 and predates town zoning and road requirements for acceptance. The Lakeside development, formerly known as the Schoolhouse Pond Johnson's Grove development, was foreclosed on by the town of Thompson in 1955. Back then, they did not do tax auctions. They took the remaining land away. The town still owns many lots there. So the town must own the roads due to this foreclosure, is how I see it. I believe over 150 lots were taken in this area by the town of Thompson. One of these lots was a waterfront lot. In 1956, the town of Thompson sold the state of Connecticut Little Pond boat ramp.
What's the date on that, Rob? I'm
What's
sorry.
that?
What was the date on that?
1956.
56, okay.
Sold
A
it,
year after the foreclosure from the town. In 1956, Lot C, which was part of these many remaining lots, was taken by the town of Thompson, sold to the state to be used as a public park. Repeat yourself.
Mhm.
To get here, one must have access on Lakeview or Center Street, both, not just one, not just Lakeview. Center Street gets you to Lakeview Street
Yeah.
from Jaworski Lane. Prior to this land foreclosure by the town in IQS, there is a lease from 1947 in which the state leased a lot for access for public use before the boat ramp. This agreement required an officer on the pond when it was in place. Obviously, it's not in place anymore. Again, showing public use to everyone, not just residents in that area. This pond is also on the town website as the most 10 notable water courses in town and also listed as things to do in Thompson. So the town supports use of the boat ramp and Little Pond. Speaking to longtime residents, roads used to be graded twice a year by the town and plowed. The town used oil on these graded roads to keep down the dust. There became a point where the town wanted this stop to protect the pond. So residents ended up donating money and the town of Thompson paved the roads in the early 90s, I believe. I was told the average voluntary donation was $500. The town paid the labor to their employees and the work was done and the roads were paved. Since then, the town has plowed the roads. We go forward to now. The pavements all deteriorated from lack of maintenance and they're in the condition prior to the town of Thompson paving them. Why does the town not go back to grading them like they did prior? I did research on deeds and found some that mentioned public roads in land descriptions, such as a lien released by the town on Lot G. It mentions a public road on one side, Little Pond on the other. This document was signed in 1952 by Merrill Snag, and this room is named after him. Some home finance companies also require roads to be town maintained. Many houses in this development have farmers' home mortgages that there's a clause in when they get approved for their home financing that that roads have to be town maintained. Last but not least, this neighborhood must have access kept clear for emergency personnel. If you go down to the pond when the ice is safe, every year you will see the East Thompson Fire Department and the state doing training on rescue and how to save those who are in need falling through the ice. There are also elderly people in the neighborhood that could need medical care. I talked to a woman the other day that's actually on oxygen down there. The town has a responsibility to keep these roads clear so emergency personnel can respond to those in need. Also, many homeowners' insurances, even outside this area, require and ask how far they are from a body of water for their insurance policy premiums. So it's not just the area that's, if these roads aren't kept clear in the snow, that gets affected. It's people outside the area, Babula Road, Port Plain Road, anybody in that whole area gets affected. So keeping access to water for the fire departments is critical. Not keeping these roads clear of snow, as the town has for 54 years, they've plowed these roads, surely could be a legal issue. These taxpaying residents deserve to have clear access to their homes as they always have had. If the town isn't going to clear them, who is, and who's going to take responsibility and the liabilities to do so? Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. And I appreciate everything that you've brought to our attention. I wish you had sent all that information, because I had asked you to not send it to my personal messenger, that the town email would be better, because I would have certainly shared it, but it would have given me time to digest it more. I don't do a lot with Facebook Messenger but I'm focused on emails every single day. But in truth, but we don't want to not plow the roads. But there is a policy that was instituted. And Joe was really just trying to follow a policy that was instituted back in 2011.
I know, and it's after that was done for 54 years. So that's the issue.
No, and I agree. I agree with you.
I don't want to go back and forth.
No,
but it
no,
sounds
and I
like you've
appreciate
been
it.
working on resolving the.
I'd like to.
Yeah.
And is it as simple as, there's so much I would like to see the town do, but what stops us every year? The budget. I'll leave it at that.
It's always that.
It's always the budget. Until it's something that when one person wants it. And then, well, we want it. But what about the person that wants something at the school?
You know,
Or-
I'll make a statement on that. I'm not gonna, I don't want, like I said, I don't wanna go back and
I
forth.
know.
We're not supposed to.
I know,
But
but I appreciate
You
it,
know,
and it's supposed to be healthy debate, and
Just the
it's not even a debate, because I
yeah,
completely
just
agree
the end of
with
it.
you,
I
Rob.
mean, people on the pond, you know, maybe many years ago, some of these properties weren't in great shape.
Mhm.
But some of these people paying $500,000 for a house in the pond now, and you know, they buy a house, they live there 2 years and the town's plowing it, and all of a sudden. You know, it's not gonna get plowed.
Well, we did plow it.
I know, I understand, I'm just making a point, you know, and then. Other people, some people don't wanna be involved with having somebody else in charge of maintaining their road either. Where some people might wanna take charge and take control of that,
Well,
and that's
trust me,
another issue because.
when we were filling in potholes, and again, not to go back and forth, but this is healthy discussion. When we were filling in the potholes, there were residents stopping saying, don't fill in the potholes, it keeps people from going fast. But for the protection of our plow equipment, they have to be filled in, so, but I completely agree with you, Rob,
Thank you.
so.
So my understanding is the policy was established in
I think
2011
It was
by
2011, it might have been 12.
the Board of Selectmen.
The Board of Selectmen.
Can we get a copy
Oh,
of
yeah,
that? Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yep, Ken probably has seen it, but I'll send it. I'm sure Ken is.
I mean, I
familiar
might
with
have
that.
seen it when we were discussing,
It was handed out, if I remember correctly, last time this issue came up with several months ago.
Right,
we
yeah,
all
and I
got a
might have
copy,
seen it,
okay.
and I might have it.
it's
I
always good
just-
for a refresher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but thank you, Rob.
That was good information.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can send me that would be
Yeah, so
awesome.
you can
Reference it.
I'll email it.
share
Okay,
it, share it.
okay,
Hi,
Mr. Williams.
Fort Plain Road. I was gonna speak as a citizen here on the same thing that Rob was speaking at. I've been in Thompson for over 50 years. When I was a kid, to get down to Schoolhouse Pond, you had to go down Ashworth Road to where the town sand pit is, and then Center Street would cut over to the right. The town put that second dirt road in there. The town put that in there, so that should be town maintained. It's been town maintained, like you said, 54 years. And you know, you're saying about the budget, that plow budget should be in there every year for that. You know, and not just elderly people down there, there's young children down there that have problems too, health problems. And one of them is my grandson, and I don't want to see it not being plowed down there. You know, you go through there when he's plowing down there, and he's driving like they say a bat out of hell through there, and he's beating the shit out, excuse my language, out of them trucks driving through there. If the town went a little bit slower through there, it wouldn't beat the trucks the way they beat them trucks.
Thank you.
And like the same thing, like he said, you know, I've talked to people down there too, and they have it's in people's mortgages, and it's just not right. The town's been doing it for 54 years. It should be almost like a non-conforming lot. Them should be non-conforming roads. That was all done. It's been taken care of long before that regulation was ever put in. So the town should not be able to do that. We're taking away from people that have been living there for years and years and years. And here we are going to be putting in houses for people that never lived around here. We're going to be stabbing out the people that have been here, been, you know, citizens of the town, going to be sticking them. And it's not right. That lake association was supposed to be for the lake, not for the roads. That was not made to take care of the roads. I don't have all the dates like he did. About 8 or 9 years ago, there was a big sinkhole down there. The town went down there. They were fighting about fixing it. The town put a steel plate over it. Finally, they went down there and fixed it. About 22 years ago, we had 2 state cops, one on one side of the pond, one on the other side of the pond. There was a big washout in the gully down there. They fought, the town went and fixed it all. So if the town took care of all of that stuff, why are they gonna stop repairing the roads now?
Thank you.
Sally would like to speak.
We're still doing the in-person audience, because another
Oh,
gentleman. had
all
his
right.
hand.
Very good.
Okay, thank you, Sally.
George Feige. I live on Bloomfield Ave, which is a dead end street off of Center Road. I've lived there 50 years. They've always plowed the main road, Center Road, with no problems. But years ago, when I first moved in, they plowed the side streets, which I'm on a side street off of Center Road. They haven't plowed that for some 20 years.
Mhm.
We try to take care of it ourselves. The road's in good shape, but nobody plows it. My question is, why, if we're on a back lot, dead end,
Mhm.
and my tax is the same as somebody else that's on the water? When some people on the water have a lower tax rate than I do, we have the highest tax rate, 9. Whereas some people on the lake are only a tax rate 6. To me, it doesn't make sense at all.
So you're saying people right on the water pay a lower tax rate than you do?
Correct.
Okay,
And I don't have the service, we have no town water,
right.
they don't plow the street.
Mhm.
Is it
What
a
was your
private road?
address?
Well,
You said Bloomfield?
Bloomfield. They're considered a private road, yeah, it's off of Center, you consider it Center.
I mean, I'm on a private road and they don't plow my road. But they've never plowed my road. So that sets a precedence. Whereas they plow the owners of the access road plow it. They own it, they plow it. That's a private road as well. But I wouldn't expect the town to come and plow it for me because they've never.
They did plow it up until probably 10 years ago, they plowed it.
Can you provide me your email address or phone number? And I'll,
No email.
a phone number, possibly before you leave, not right now, but
Yeah.
before you leave. And I'll check, I'll have a conversation with the assessor and try to understand it myself.
Well, yeah, because we're not on the water, why would I
Right.
be paying the same tax rate? And
The
in
same or
fact,
more?
I think Rob is paying the same tax rate.
More,
also.
right.
I don't
Yeah.
pay much, so I don't have a, well, may I,
So you're based on the
what,
same,
on Fernwood?
yeah,
yeah.
you're based the same, all of those side lots are based the same.
But more than what people on the water are being taxed at.
There's
Oh,
some people on
interesting.
the water, yes,
My
Okay.
place is just 500 square foot shacks.
Yeah.
The taxes aren't a lot on.
no, mine's only 750, it's not a lot, I'm not saying, but the tax rate is what I'm saying, why is our tax rate the same
Okay.
and highest it is? Whereas some people on the lake are paying a lower tax rate, they should be paying a higher tax rate.
Right, right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Any other citizen comments inside the audience? Mr. Warner?
Just 2 points.
Mhm.
One, the highway foreman says the road isn't up to snuff, but it seems like in the last 60 years, the town's the only one that's been maintaining the road. So if it's not up to snuff, the plows, because the town isn't maintaining. And then the second thing is Jeff Gordon's email address.
Oh, yes.
It's J-O-N-M-D
I have it.
Oh, you do have it, but
course.
that's okay. You can share it with me. MD.
at AOL.com.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other citizen comments here inside the Merrill Sinay room? All right, with that, we will go to the virtual audience and we will call on Ms. Sally White first.
Good evening. I'm at 308 East Thompson Road. And it sounds like folks are making a good case with precedent and with the history and with the town-owned land and so forth around Little Pond. So the case looks pretty solid. I just wanted to address, I was a little dismayed when it was mentioned that it's a matter of budget. It always comes down to budget, or I'm paraphrasing, however it was said. And actually, it's a matter of how the budget is allocated towards those fundamental things that the town is responsible for. And I know you all know that roads and bridges, the infrastructure is the most basic and the first priority of the budget. And while I won't try to reel things off the top of my head, I know that there are discretionary things in the budget, and it just kind of, it's going to hit people the wrong way to say it comes down to a matter of budget. And there has to be triage done to those most basic things that the town is responsible for. And there is ample money in the budget to take care of the roads. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Valerie Clark.
Valerie Clark, 105 Alm Road. First, I would like to say that I very much appreciate Mr. Beausoleil's selectmen's comments this evening. I think all of the points he raised were extremely valuable and very much appreciated. And I also appreciate his attendance, despite him saying that he isn't feeling well, and I wish him a rapid recovery. My second point is somewhat different tone and tack. I just want to remind the selectmen, all three of you, that town meetings are a professional meeting and thereby should be conducted with decorum. And it is incumbent on each of you to ensure that a professional and courteous forum is maintained. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other citizen comments in the virtual audience? Floor is open. Any more in the live audience?
Sally wasn't able to unmute herself fast enough.
Okay,
Very briefly, I hope that when you get down to the EMS report, will you be sharing what Ms. Spirica brought to your attention?
I don't have the letter with me, but if someone can pull it up.
Spirica?
Spirica.
Yeah, she's here to present.
Oh, very good. No, I'm sorry. I had the wrong name, Crystal Simon.
Oh. Simon would like to speak on the topic. I don't have the actual letter here. I don't know if either, because it wasn't sent to my email.
Okay, all right, very good. Thank you.
But the Putnam EMS administrator is here to present, so.
Right. All right, any other citizen comments? All right, with that, we will move on to a very important moment. We are going to honor tonight Catlin Larson. Catlin, do you want to talk about the project you did? Because it was a really cool project. Catlin has earned the rank of Eagle Scout. I usually put people on the spot.
Yeah.
But you've been in our meeting before because you shared the project. You came and asked permission to construct the project. Do you feel comfortable sharing that with everybody today? No.
Just going through.
Sorry.
My Eagle project that we made back in June was at Wilsonville Park in Wilsonville it was a storybook trail, so kids could be able to, while they were playing this out, and be able to read and play with the signs. And just kind of get them into reading, get them something else.
And just
I want to talk to
talking,
them.
because my experience on
You're good.
Zoom is that you can't hear,
Oh.
and I think people on the Zoom would like to hear you.
Well, tell me what it was like to achieve the rank and what you've had to go through to become an Eagle Scout.
It was a very long process. It took 3 years to achieve the rank of Eagle Scout. To gain the rank of Eagle Scout, you have to have about 16 hours of community service in total, all throughout all of your ranks. You have to have 21, now 22 merit badges, which they can take anywhere from 10 hours to 7 months to complete. You have to go through your council of the state, and then you have to go through your town, depending on the project. And you have to build the project yourself or set up whatever your project could be. It could be from a community service project or a fundraiser of some sort, giving back, any form of giving back to your community. And jump through a lot of hoops, but it's very satisfying once you have finally completed that.
Well, it's really an incredible achievement, and we are proud of you. and proud of the work that you've done for the town. And I think you just deserve it. Great job. So with that, wanna come around? We definitely need a picture. Somebody's coming in. All right, whereas we acknowledge that Catlin F. Larson has achieved the rank of Eagle Scout. And whereas we recognize that Catlin S. Larson, through perseverance, ability, and good character, has accomplished all her goals. Whereas we recognize that the Boy Scouts of America provide guidance and direction in preparing today's youths as tomorrow's leaders. And whereas we extend our sincere wishes that all her future endeavors will be exciting and rewarding as her success in achieving the Eagle Scout Award. Now, therefore, the Board of Selectmen of the town of Thompson, on behalf of all the residents, extends to Catlin Larson congratulations on this extraordinary achievement.
Well done. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Suzanne, do you want to sign this quickly so we can give it to Catlin? I should have had to do it before we started.
Sorry, I didn't realize I had a different color.
Thank you, and very proud of you. Good work.
Thank you.
So that's one of the things I love to do. I love to see our young people really achieve great things, and no doubt, Catlin, you're gonna go far. Great work. All right, so next we have on the agenda, item number 8, emergency management resolution, Connecticut Department of Energy and Homeland Security. And this is for the grant that reimburses
in-kind services, anything I purchase.
So if you didn't hear Steve, it was phones, in-kind services, radios, internet, anything that Homeland Security or emergency management within the town of Thompson purchases. So I make the following motion. Be it resolved to adopt this resolution today. Be it resolved by the Board of Selectmen of the town of Thompson that Amy St. first selectman of the town of Thompson may enter into with and deliver to the state of Connecticut Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security any and all documents which it deems to be necessary or appropriate. And be it further resolved that Amy St. as first selectman of the town of Thompson is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents on behalf of the town of Thompson, and to do and perform all acts and things which she deems necessary to appropriate to carry out the terms of such document, including but not limited to executing and delivering all agreements and documents contemplated by such documents. I make a motion that we adopt this resolution.
Second,
Okay, and Ken has the second. Any discussion on this resolution? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of adopting the resolution to deliver to the state of Connecticut Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, say aye.
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 Right, and that motion passes. So Steve, I have to have this signed by the town clerk.
Good when you get this, put in my.
I'll put it in your mailbox. Okay.
mailbox.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. All right, agenda item 9, TMHS project graduation request to fill the Podge fundraiser at transfer station. I'll make a motion that we allow the Turtle Up Memorial High School project graduation to do a fundraising event at the transfer station on Saturday, December 31st from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. What is the date of
Second.
it? Okay, and Ken has the second.
Sorry.
The date was December 31st, so New Year's Eve, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And this will be for the Fill the Paw fundraiser. Any discussion on this request? Can you go to the transfer station? I don't,
Yes, I do.
We have business. Do you think New Year's Eve is going to be a zoo? No. Rob Mann's shaking his head no.
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't
I think it's gonna be busy because you have, well,
Would be.
the
Because
more people that are there, the better it is for the students.
yeah, that's true. I just wasn't sure if it was just gonna be too chaotic, but
They always stay out of the way. They're very well,
okay, good.
yes.
Okay. Any thoughts?
No,
All right, all in favor of approving the request for the fundraiser at the Thompson Transfer Station on Saturday, December 31st from 8 AM to 2 PM, say aye.
I,
Aye.
And that motion passes. All right. Did we? What?
nothing.
All right, next item on the agenda. Agenda item 10, appointment Dale Fifield, Fire Protection Advisory Committee. With a term which is indefinite.
So I'll make a
I'll second the
motion.
motion.
Oh, was that a motion? that you
No, I
made?
didn't make a
No.
motion.
I'll make the motion that we appoint Dale Fifield to the Fire Protection Advisory Committee with no end date. Life.
Yeah, and
life,
term indefinite.
Yeah,
Term indefinite. And Ken, you had the second?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All in favor of this appointment, say aye.
I,
Aye.
And that motion passes. All right. All right, next. Tammy Spirka from Putnam EMS with the Putnam EMS report.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Wonderful.
Did you want me to share any of the reports that you gave me on my screen?
If you want to, sure. I mean,
Yeah, I have-
that's fine with me, sure.
Yeah, do you want to start with October's report?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me get it up. Hold on. Just did the wrong thing. Sorry, give me 2 seconds here. October. Where'd it go? There it is. All right, it's coming up now. Can everybody see it? All right, it should be screen shared now. Can you hear me, Tammy?
Yep. I just didn't know if people wanted a few moments to kind of look it over or.
Oh, okay.
So this is our October 2022 operations report, starting with the total number of calls that we did in the town of Thompson and in Putnam was a 234. And below that is shows the numbers of how many we responded to in Putnam and then how many we went to in Thompson. So the next section, the dispatching center in Putnam has been very short staffed. So they did not have a dispatcher on a couple of evenings. So we actually dispatched those 2 calls for us. So that's what those are. We had one mutual aid that
I'm
came in.
sorry.
Oh,
I'm
so
sorry, Tammy, I don't know which one you're talking about for calls sent by QV
Oh,
for
the
WA.
second.
Okay, I got it.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
got it.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, and then the mutual aid received, it once into Putnam and KB came in. Both of the ambulances, were out on calls. And, the Thompson one, the unknown caller, so what had happened was that both of our ambulances were out of service. I mean, sorry, I misspoke. Both of our ambulances were on calls and there was no local ambulances available. So we turned the call over to Webster EMS. So usually when they do that, they don't have any further information about times and whatnot. So the next section is the mutual aid that we provided to our surrounding towns. We did 7 for Woodstock and we did 3 for Killingley, none for Brooklyn, Pomfret, or other. So we now have another new section here. So the first one is call to action. That is from time of dispatch to when the crews sign on the air. And it gives the number of how many minutes it takes them. So Putnam this month was at just a little over 2 minutes, and Thompson was just under 3. So those are really good times. Response time. The next section, response times, is from time of call to when the crews arrive on scenes. And you notice that those are just a little slightly longer. Thompson has a very wide area that we cover, so none of those were too out of sorts when we when I spoke to QB. Calls over limits, those were second crew calls, and the other two, well, the other one was 8-minute response. The crew was, spoken to and asked to be a little more prompt with getting on the air. And the other one was that the ambulances were on a call just doing turnover at Day Kimball. And then they got on the air and responded from the hospital. So not sure if any of you are aware, but the hospitals have been overwhelmed with patients, especially in the emergency rooms. So our wait times are starting to get a little longer. Last Monday, we were waiting for a room for over an hour in the ED. So I suspect that might change next month. And the last section is events covered. So we did 2 WPTP games. We had 3 Speedway events, the Halloween Downtown Trick or Treat, and Community Day.
Okay. On the one, Tammy, that says second crew call, was that because either Putnam or Thompson was called out?
Yes.
Initially, but then it took time for them to, and can you explain it?
Yes, so you were right on track with that. So Putnam and Thompson were both out, and they paged out for a crew to come from home to the station to take the second crew call, and those usually take a little longer.
Okay.
So that's why there's such a long the over limits, or what we call as the over limits.
Okay. All right. All right, let me grab November's. Give me a second to get that up on the screen for everybody.
So forgive me, while she's doing this,
Yeah.
Tammy, how many ambulances do you have in service right now?
Right now, we only have 2. Our third ambulance is being worked on. It is having a turnover issue.
But
So
you
don't
have,
let the station.
so in October, the third ambulance was in service?
Yes, it was.
And when you cover the events that you have listed,
Yep,
that means that you're running 3 ambulances that day and you have full crews?
yes.
Okay.
Except for the WPTP games, we were unable to get full crews, but we had an EMT take a jump bag and a radio over and sit during those games. And that was acceptable to the WPTP board.
And now, Tammy, we did get approval on the other 2 ambulances being added to service, correct?
Yes, I just received all the paperwork from the state on Monday. So we are in a 14-day waiting period for comments.
Okay.
And then the commissioner will render his decision.
Okay, all right, we have those. I spoke with Joe at the garage today, and he's getting them ready for you guys to pick up.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, thank you.
You're welcome.
So this is our,
Any other questions? Ken, did you have any questions on the October report?
Not on October, no.
Okay, all right, so move on to November. Oh, did you have any more, Suzanne?
Not yet.
Okay, so we'll move on to the November report.
okay, November operations report. Total requests between the 2 towns was 199. below that is the separated numbers. Mutual aid received, Putnam didn't have anybody come in. Thompson, we had the Dudley ambulance. As you can see, Putnam and Thompson were out on calls at that time. Mutual aid calls provided. We went to Woodstock twice and we went to Killingly 3 times. We did not go to Brooklyn, Pomfret, or any other places. The call to action, again, that's the time of dispatch to time on air. And then below that, response times, time of dispatch until the crews get on scenes. And below that are our calls over limits. So the first 2 were days when the crews were extremely busy. They went to go back a day later to do their report and didn't make the updates on the charts as to when the dates actually started and finished for the calls. So when they signed and locked their calls, this is why all those minutes are listed that way. Does that make sense?
No, Tammy, was that something that was done at WA or was that? at
No,
QV?
so that was a mistype in the actual charts that we write up for each of our patients.
Okay.
So say the call happened on November 3rd and they didn't do the refusal until November 5th. Hypothetically, if they don't pay attention and they're not, excuse me, if they don't change the dates to the correct day and make sure that it ends on the correct day, this is what can happen. It looks like that it took them, 1,441 minutes on a call, when in actuality, that wasn't the case.
And this is something they generate in a computer?
Yes,
Something they're entering in, so they're not entering in the correct date?
yes. And we had to go back and we had to adjust the dates in an addendum and add the actual correct times.
But in the meantime, the record stays as it looks with the addendum somehow?
Yes, yes. Yeah, because you can't alter
Right.
charts.
Right, absolutely
Once-
not.
Yeah, once they've been advanced, they can't be altered.
Okay. And the other 2 calls just,
A little too long getting their, to get themselves on the air. The crews were spoken to again about the importance of signing on the air within our 3-minute time limit.
is this specifically a Thompson crew or a Putnam crew?
Those are Putnam crews.
This is Putnam crew that had the call over?
Yes,
So not necessarily the Thompson crew?
correct. No, it is, I'm gonna say no because our QV numbers are a lot lower than our WA numbers. So the
these
numbers,
specifically could have come from WA?
no.
Oh.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, those are calls that happened or came from WA. Yes.
And of course, the good news is that you'll be switching over entirely to QV dispatch starting January 1, correct?
That is correct.
I'm so excited because that's going to really help us hone in on the call numbers.
Yes, I'm very excited as well.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
right-
confused about the
Right now,
chart.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, right now, between the 2 dispatching centers, we have to hand count stuff on WA side. So it's been difficult. So we are ready for the change and to be able to get some things a little easier.
So these, when you have, so the things you put in, Tammy, for the call over limits, the 1,441 minutes, 5,762, that's data you had to enter in for WA?
Oh,
Whereas
no.
dispatch would have had it from Go?
Nope.
I'm
So
trying
that
to-
is data that the EMT that's creating the chart manually puts into their chart.
Okay. Guess we have to understand.
They have
what
to
the
chart,
is.
after every call, they have to
Okay.
chart, they have to write down the description and all the events and everything that happened.
Yeah.
I'm confused how the date would be off. Aren't they required to do their charting before they leave their shift?
That is not a requirement for us. We we require them to have their charts done within 24 hours. However, like I said, this day was a very, very busy day. The crews were overwhelmed with all the paperwork. So because I believe these were refusals, we had said that they could do them the next day.
And of course, it shows you covered the turkey trot. And the
Yes.
football.
And that is we covered a football game in Woodstock for Woodstock Academy.
Okay. Was that for Thanksgiving Day?
No, that was earlier in the month.
Picked up on, oh, okay. Probably was Woodstock ambulance not available to do it?
On that day, no, they were not.
Okay. Yeah.
So Tammy, you know, my concern has always been the staffing.
Yes.
What are your thoughts? How are you feeling? You finished your EMT class or you're still in progress?
So the EMT class finished on December 3rd, but they have been actually got extended a week because we had sick people. So we wanted to make sure that everybody had enough time to feel as comfortable as we could get them before their tests. This Thursday, they are doing their practicals, which is the hands-on skills portion of the EMT class. And Friday, they do their written test for the class. If they pass both, they will be able to move on to the nationals.
How many are you expecting to have become?
So we put forth 4 people in the class. And we had 4 people with no prior EMS background that signed up for the class.
Okay, so those aren't 4 people that are on the list that you gave me.
Yes, they are.
They are on the list.
Yes, ma'am. There are 4 EMRs, so they would be at the bottom of the list.
Okay. So the list that you gave, can I be more specific for next month?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I please have a current list of only active employees for next month? With the EMT, with the certifications, as well as, can you give us a little detail on how many hours, based on the history of their work week, how many hours a week each employee is working?
Okay, so active employees, and then
Only-
how many hours they're working each week?
Tammy,
Yes.
I was thinking on that, you could contact Common Sense.
Yeah,
Give a-
absolutely.
Or Dana, and they could generate a report for you.
Yep,
And
that's
you-
absolutely. I just want to make sure I get everything that she'd like.
And you could just pull like the whole entire month, ask them to do the whole entire month of December. That would give a breakdown of each employee. Just make sure they don't have things like social security numbers or anything like that. I mean,
Right, absolutely.
Dana and Sam are usually really great. So,
Okay. Yes, they are. They are wonderful.
yeah. And that
So-
way it'll be a little bit easier for you to do it that way, I think.
Absolutely. I just want to make sure. So active employees and the hours that they work. Was there one other thing?
Their certifications.
Certification.
And I like that you put the expiration dates on here. I noticed one of the EMRs is, the reason I request active is one of them has expired on here, and the date on this is 10/1. So that's why I was asking for a more current list.
Right. She is currently doing her refresher. She has not been able to run in the ambulance because she's expired. So she's currently finishing up that stuff for the class.
Ken, do you have any questions for Ms. Berka?
Tammy,
Yes,
Putnam has 2 ambulances and we have the one from Thompson, is that correct?
yes.
Okay, I'm looking at the report on the 20th of November. That there was Putnam ambulance came, it said Thompson ambulance was out of service. Was that out of service because of mechanical? Because if it is mechanical, you take the spare ambulance.
Wait, I'm sorry. Where was that?
November 20th,
Where do you
It was
see
a-
that on the report?
it's on the mutual aid into Thompson.
I think it's on the QV dispatch report. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, that I do not have in front of me.
November
Well,
20.
it's on the Excel spreadsheet that came for November.
It was a call into East Thompson because the Thompson ambulance broke down responding.
Okay,
Oh, out of service. That was the out of service day.
so in its response time, the ambulance broke down.
Yes,
Because normally an
Yes.
ambulance will go out for service and then you bring in the spare, so that way you have full
Correct.
coverage. That's why I was wondering, because that one just says out of service. It doesn't say the reason why
Right.
it was.
so what had happened was the crew they had an issue with the ambulance. We brought them the second ambulance and then took that spare ambulance and brought it over to the Ford station.
To get it serviced. I understand that. It's just that when you look at it, it makes it look like, we were just down an ambulance, Putnam was covering, that was it.
Right, no, I'm sorry. I will look over those numbers again and see what that is. But yeah, that you did have a
Okay, but
spare
that
truck.
explains
Did
that,
bring that.
because, even when community had their ambulance, they had 3 of them, so if one went down, you grabbed the other one.
Correct.
So that's why I was wondering why it just said out of service. Something, a quick footnote, broke down en route.
Okay, I'll see if QV can put that in for us, if that should happen again.
Well, no, but that would be something that is a red flag, because it makes it look like, why didn't we have the spare ambulance in town?
Okay,
That's all, but that explains that.
Okay.
That's good. Just one other thing, Tammy, with the
Yes.
new certifications that they're gonna be doing
Mhm.
for the new class that you've got coming through, where are they testing them? Are they testing them here in Putnam, or are they taking them to a central location?
So for their class practicals and written, they will do that in Putnam. And then they will go to a designated site to do their national practicals and then their national written. I believe that's how that
Okay.
works.
Okay, no, I was just wondering, because the state does flip-flop it around for initially getting certified. Because we used to go to Middletown at one point in time.
Yes, that's where,
Just out of
that is where I took mine.
Correct.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they go to a test site, like there's one in Worcester that you can go to. They
Well,
don't
that's
all
what-
go they don't go as a class. They sign up individually and take their tests. Am I correct?
I believe so, yes. Yep.
Well, that may be, but it is a central location that they go to.
No, I think that.
Do
the
the hair
testing
notes.
center, yeah,
As long as they get their certifications.
and I only know that because. Logan's
Correct.
getting-
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right, any other questions for Putnam EMS? Okay, all right, we will move on. Thank you so much, Tammy, for coming in,
Thank
and
you
Merry
very much.
Christmas.
Have a
Merry
good evening.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you.
All right. Agenda item 12, what we've all been waiting for. As you recall, the Board of Selectmen, I'm just going to give some background on this. The Board of Selectmen signed a resolution because in order for the school to move forward with a grant application, which needed to be, and Bill Birch, you can correct me, I know you're in the meeting and so is Melinda, needed to be in by December 6th. And the Board of Selectmen, in order for them to make application to the state for this HVAC grant, needed to make a resolution stating that we would hold a special town meeting and referendum. Oh, she said December 1st. Melinda corrected me. It was December 1st. So time was of the essence. We needed to make the resolution that we would go to town meeting and referendum before January 31st. And as the weeks ticked, it occurred to me that, oh no, we have to get this legal notice put out. We had 30 days from clear days from the date of referendum to put together a legal notice. get it published, and that's from the date of publishing. So we have until next week to get this legal notice published. So again, clock is ticking. We're having to get this done. The Board of Selectmen did adopt the resolution to say that we're going to have the referendum by January 31st. And that's all in order to apply for the HVAC grant, which will give us 68.2% reimbursement. So as I was in discussion with the bond attorney about the process, it occurred to me that, well, we have two other projects that the building committee has been working on. We have a shovel-ready track project, and we have a security project that they have hired a consultant to basically secure the school. And we have been talking about security at the school. So I'm only bringing this to the Board of Selectmen tonight for discussion. It moves to the Board of Finance tomorrow night for them to officially approve the potential appropriations if the Board of Selectmen chooses to go forward with these three projects, which I will read off so everybody understands the three projects that we're talking about. If the Board of Finance approves the appropriations, the Board of Selectmen will have a special meeting on Thursday to solidify the legal notice, potentially. And again, it's all up for discussion tonight amongst us, Suzanne and Ken. The three projects, so everybody understands, the first one would be to appropriate $13.2 million for cost related to the HVAC project at Thompson Public Schools building. Contemplated to consist of new heating and cooling systems, HVAC units, boilers, dedicated outdoor systems and control systems. The appropriation may be spent for design, acquisition, installation, site improvements, removal of materials and discarded equipment, permitting and environmental costs, equipment, materials, site improvements, switches, wiring, pipes, sensors, thermostats, and other related equipment. Architectural, engineering, and other consulting fees, legal fees, net interest on borrowings, and other financing costs and other expenses related to the project and its financing, including the preparation of schematic drawings and outline related to the project and its financing. The town building committee for the project shall determine the specifications of the project and may reduce or modify the project and the entire particulars and scope of the project, and may reduce or modify the project and the entire, I read that twice. The town building committee for the project shall determine the particulars and scope of the project and may reduce or modify the project, and the entire appropriation may be expended on the project as so reduced or modified. The town anticipates applying for and receiving a grant from the State Department of Education to defray a portion of the eligible costs of the project. And here's something that we were very particular and we wanted to make sure it was added. And no amount of the appropriation may be expended until the town receives evidence of the state's approval of the grants for the project. So the appropriation would not move forward unless we receive the grant. The second project is to consider to appropriate $500,000 for costs related to exterior door replacement and other security improvements at the Thompson Public Schools building. The appropriation may be spent for the acquisition and installation of doors, equipment, and materials, including but not limited to doors, locks, hardwares, alarms, identification systems, camera and video equipment, exterior lighting, door access controls, window replacement, and related equipment. Consulting fees, legal fees, net interest on borrowings, other financing costs, and other expenses related to the project. Again, it gives the town building committee kind of oversight over the project, and they may reduce or modify the project. We did not put in that if this was to pass at referendum, and we did not, because there is a grant that we might be able to apply for, but I did not put the caveat that we would not move forward with this project. And I think it's important for everybody to know, we could add it, but this is a really important project to secure the school. And we've been talking about security at the school for weeks. And I just think personally that, well, we'll get into the discussion after. I'll move on to the third thing for the Board of Selectmen to consider tonight. We have had a track at the school that has been unusable for over 20 years. And it gets worse and worse every single day. It's an embarrassment, quite honestly. When we talk about taking care of our things and taking care of our town properties, this is the one thing that kind of like drives me crazy. So, and since we have a shovel-ready track project, and the building committee has all of the design and the engineering, I would like the board to consider appropriating $1.5 million for the costs related to the removal and replacement of the outdoor athletic track at Thompson Public Schools building. The appropriation may be spent for the demolition of the existing track, removal and disposal of materials, design and planning costs, acquisition and installation of new track surface, repairs and improvements to the surrounding grounds, consulting fees, engineering, planning, legal fees, net interest on borrowings, other financing costs, and other expenses related to the project. The town building committee for the project shall determine all the particulars of the scope, et cetera, et cetera. And so with that, I make a motion that we adopt the 3 resolutions and move it forward to the Board of Finance for their approval of the appropriations. I make that motion so that we can have more discussion.
And I'll second it.
Okay, and now the floor is open for the selectmen for discussion.
Okay, so with the HVAC, what is the reimbursement rate?
68.2%. Leaves us a net of 4.2 million potentially.
To the cost to the taxpayer is 4.2. Is that what you-
Plus interest on the bond anticipation
Right,
notes.
plus-
There's other.
plus the cost of the bond and all of that? And is there reimbursement on the safety? I'm not sure what you're calling it.
There
exactly, but-
is, we do believe that a grant, and Bill Birch, you can correct me on this. I'm so glad you're in the audience. We do believe that there is a reimbursement grant coming from Department of Emergency Management, Homeland Security, DEMIS. And even after the project is complete, we could go back and apply to get the refund.
That's okay.
Not the
That's
refund, but to
key.
get the grant.
That's important.
Did I say that correctly, Bill?
That, well, just let me be clear that that is like a real, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But there's no guarantee. So the HVAC grant, we've already applied for, that's out there. There's money out there that the state has committed. As far as the Homeland Security grant for safety and security, they are anticipating that early in 2023, there's going to be monies available, but there's nothing official out there yet that we can apply for.
Thank you. And I should have been clear on that because I did understand it that way. One of the reasons that I did decide to present the other 2 projects is that our issuance costs are going to be the same, if not a little bit less, as we go higher in what we're.
Yep.
So to add another 2 million to a $13 million project
And is
wouldn't
there,
affect, would actually,
I see what you're
wouldn't
saying, 'cause-
greatly affect the issuance cost. So if you were going to go out for various projects, bulk them together.
right,
Was my
right,
thought.
right. Is there reimbursement or is there any kind of funding for the track project?
Not that we know of. However, to have not only a shovel-ready project, but a project that the town has approved of would put us in a better position to apply for a grant when one came. So
Got it.
we don't have to, as long as we have the approval, we don't necessarily have to start the project right away, although we'd want to. But it'll buy us some time potentially, depending on how long it takes us to go out to bid, because this is all a process. None of this financing is going to happen overnight. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to have to go out to bid for the contractors for the HVAC system. In the meantime, we can continue to be watching for additional grants. It's just finding the will of the people. You know, we want a secure school. We want a track that's actually usable, that we can be proud of. And obviously, we want healthy air for our children. And apparently, and Bill can correct me, Bill knows all the systems at the school. Some of the boilers are from 1960, if I'm correct. Is that correct, Bill? Some of the boilers are from 1960?
Well, they don't actually date back quite that far. Most of them have been replaced. I think at this point, the oldest ones we've got probably date back until the mid-80s.
Okay.
But at this point, they're tired, and I'd like to make the point that over the last 2 years, in order to keep the school open, we have we've flooded the building with outside air, winter and summer. A normal standard is 5% outside air for that kind of environment. We've been running 30% outside air to get good, fresh, clean air for everybody that's inside. And that actually it's taken a toll on the equipment. We've already replaced 2 boilers, and we have another one that now has a leak, and we're going to execute a repair in next week, actually. That's going to reduce the capacity, but it's going to keep it running for another year. The equipment has worked very hard over the last couple of years, I can say that.
So Bill, for the average person, can you expound on what does $13.2 million get us?
So what $13 million is going to get us is 2 new boilers in the middle school, which is where we have one that's now failed. And the manufacturer has told us that the foundry is closed where they make the sections for the boilers. They're redesigning the boiler configuration, and when the new ones come out, they are probably not going to be compatible with the old ones. So we may not be able to repair it back to capacity. It's going to eliminate in the older part of Mary Fisher Elementary School, there are ground level unit ventilators that were put in 1978. And I correct myself, those are the oldest systems. And that's not even acceptable practice anymore to bring in outside air from ground level. And on top of that, they are a system that runs the heat all the time, and it just passes the air either around the heating coil or through it. And it's going to replace basically all of the systems at the high school, which date to 1986. And maybe one of the biggest things is it's going to change the control system. And we're going to have a system throughout the building that is, it's going to be building automated. It's going to be web-based. There's a lot of areas that have pneumatic controls. And they were state of the art when they were put in, but that was a long time ago. And there are very few folks left that can even service them in any way or operate them. And we're currently doing a lot of very manual things to get the systems to do what we need them to do to keep the school open. And moving into the future, that really needs to change. That control system is going to be a huge part. The middle school cafeteria has an HVAC system that's been condemned for many years. It doesn't work at all. We pretty much count on the air from the hallways and the windows to get ventilation in that area. The elementary school cafeteria was actually designed as a gymnasium, and that system works the way it was designed, but it was for a gymnasium, not a cafeteria. So it's very different. So all of those things are scheduled to be replaced in this phase of the project.
Okay. All right, thank you.
This is an oil-based system.
It's still heating oil?
We have no other choice. Well, I shouldn't say that. We could go all electric, I guess. There was one suggestion that one of the bidders came up with, that maybe we put in a wood-fired plant. But basically, we have no other options, really. The only real feasible option for us is to remain oil.
Okay. Ken, did you have some thoughts?
when is the Board of Finance gonna look at this?
They're gonna look at the 3 appropriations tomorrow night.
Okay, our
If
finance
we pass
director,
it to them. Only if we pass it to them tonight. So if for some reason the board decided not to move forward with the 3 options, because we have that, you have that ability, of course. Then they would only take up whatever we pass on to them tonight. So that's technically what my
well,
motion-
each project has its own numbers.
yes.
And my concern, the 68.2%, which leaves us a $4 million hit that comes out of the taxpayers, that we have to raise over X number of years when we bond it. I understand that. These are all facts and figures that go into our budget that we'll be working on in the next couple of months. And the Board of Finance has to look at that, and we need to look at our bond rating, et cetera, with all of this, because it has a definite impact. The thing that I'm concerned about is, okay, we have to come up with the 13.2 first. We fund it all, then we get reimbursed after. What is the impact? What is the payment going to be? Hopefully, Bill will have that for the Board of Finance tomorrow night to look at. And then you would take the other 2 projects and look at them in the same vein. What is the impact to the taxpayers? I mean, all of the projects all have merit, but when it comes to picking and choosing with the voters, they may opt 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, or all 3. We don't know.
Yeah, and that was the one thing that I should have pointed out. There would be 3 questions if all 3. There would be 3 individual questions at referendum for people to decide. So it wouldn't be an all or nothing.
Correct.
And we do have some of the numbers today. I think it would be important to share some of what we know. And I'm going to turn it over to Bill because we've been working on this for the last week or so.
So there's a couple of different ways to look at it. If you look at it as the net borrowing, so after reimbursement, it would be a loan of financing of about $6.2 million. The initial interest on those loans, because our financial advisors have actually structured the maturities, so the principal payments, although we would be paying a little bit more interest, they start to phase in as we have retired some of our current notes. But the initial number would be $250,000 in interest. Now, keep in mind, that's after the reimbursement of the $9 million. That would be roughly 400,000. And these numbers are still draft, so don't quote me on this because we're still crunching the numbers with the financial advisors. But for the fully loaded project of $15.2 million, which would be the 13.2 plus the 2 combined for the other 2 projects. The interest in the initial year would be just over $400,000 initially. So those would be the numbers that we would have to start to work into the budget to figure out exactly, to figure out what the impact would be to the taxpayers and to the mill rate.
And what is the value of our mill right now, the mill rate?
We're at
How many hundreds of spots?
02, if I remember right. I don't have the budget.
Yeah, you're curious. You're wondering what that mill rate would be based on.
Right.
No, I'm curious what the 1 mill equals X number of
That's not the value. What's the budget?
thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
Well, we're 24.13.
that's the bill rate.
That's the mill
That's
rate.
the mill rate. That's not what the value of the mill is.
What is, what is
Looking
it?
for a figure.
It's like-
640,000 or whatever the bill is.
Right. Well, that's what I don't have a calculator.
Sorry.
Bill, can you do it in your head? Okay. We can get that to you, Ken.
What's the
Yeah, I
interest
mean, that's a question because
in the terms?
Oh, and it's based on whatever our the base is, what the tax base is.
Right, that's what I was saying. What's
And
that?
that's what I don't know off the top of my
I don't-
head. I'll probably find out.
So right now, the initial financing, the bands, as they refer to them, the interest rate is 4%.
What do we have currently in existence in bonds?
So our total current debt service is about $8.8 million. That's made up of USDA loan, Clean Water Fund loan, Webster Bank refinancing loan that we did earlier this year.
Yeah,
And the 2021 bonds from Webster Bank.
and we're expecting reimbursement back on the school roof project, which will help to offset that.
Right.
Bill, is the USDA loan, is that the Marinapolis?
That's
loan?
actually the
Yeah.
Marinapolis, which
the
Which we
the
don't make.
taxpayers don't pay. And that's probably a good
That's
portion of
right.
that. That's a bigger portion of that, if I'm
Do we
correct.
have
It's 1.1
Oh, that's it? Okay,
million.
all right.
1.1
Thought it was
million?
more than that.
Okay, good. I knew there was,
Yeah.
and that's MPS. Okay, and what the reimbursement on the school roof? What do we anticipate getting back?
Bill?
Bill,
Birch,
do you remember that?
I believe you had just filed that paperwork. It was a percentage of the 2 million, correct?
Yeah, it was a percentage of the 2 million. And off the top of my head, I can't tell you what it is. It's a little more than the 68.2.
Yeah,
It's somewhere between 69 and 70. But I don't have the records with me, so I can't tell you exactly.
We went with 69, it'd be 1,380,000.
Reimbursement.
and what is the interest rate on that bond, do you know?
I
Because I believe it's lower than 4%.
don't have that, sorry.
Yeah, he didn't give that on there, but we could find out.
Yeah.
Things,
And these are probably Board of Finance questions that, or but it might be something you want to have ready to bring to the Board of Finance.
Certainly. Yeah, we were still going back and-
1,385,000 that we anticipate
with the
having.
advisors
back.
today.
right.
This has all come together pretty quickly in an effort to be able to apply for the grant.
Got it.
So that's why things have been moving as quickly as they have. I think normally we'd probably be moving at a more deliberate pace.
Well, yeah, and I just reiterate that with the January 31st deadline of having a referendum and the fact that bonding is involved, that's why we have to get this published within 30 days. And that's why it seems like we're moving fast, but that's also additionally why. So
When does this have to be in by?
it has to be in by Thursday at noon to get published into the Villager. Otherwise, we'll be publishing it into the Norwich Bulletin, and that'll be a hefty price, but it has to be
Well,
published
it is because,
by next week,
yeah,
the 30th, December 30th. It needs 30 clear days.
December 30th, if you put it in the Norwich Bulletin.
Yes, which means we need it probably next Wednesday to be sent over to the Norwich Bulletin. We basically have a week.
Would it be possible for you to put something together and send out to the Board of Selectmen, maybe the Board of Finance, of the debt service that we have, the terms, the interest, that kind of thing,
Sure.
the payment,
Yep,
just
sure.
think it would be beneficial
Mhm.
to have a better understanding.
Also, when you break that down, that you do the HVAC, you do the security, and you do the track all separately and how they impact overall. So if you did 2 out of 3, this is what it'll be. If you do all 3, this is what it is. If you only do 1, this is what it is.
All right, any other thoughts?
Just to comment on the track, it's been, I think, longer than 20 years.
I tried to get a number
When
from
I
Deb
sat on the
Spinelli.
Board of Finance, I kept hearing about the track. And I can understand the positive impact it would have on the town. And I totally understand putting it all into one bond because they're not there to initiate the whole process. Like when you get a mortgage, you know, you pay so much up front. So it's better to do group projects and go out to bond as opposed to.
So what was it, the legal fees? $41,000
Yeah, there was.
to close the
there was
bond?
a certain
It's quite expensive.
It is,
Right.
yeah, and it doesn't change depending on the amount, so that's.
And in comparison to the HVAC project, the other two projects seem small. But so needed. John,
Just to throw in that, we haven't got the reimbursement for the oil
Right.
tanks either yet.
and that's an
All the
issue.
Paperwork is in, but the state just is not responding.
We need to,
Not sure if they're in there.
I thought we
in
got,
their office.
not reimbursement from the state.
Not for the lady.
I thought we did,
We did.
and that was,
One of them. with the
six-
oil
what was
spill.
that, 600 and,
The oil spill, not the
That
oil
was-
tank replacement.
Yeah.
oh, the oil, oh, okay,
The oil
okay,
tank
yeah.
replacement.
We did that,
Okay,
we have
okay.
added For the tanks,
Do you know off the top of your head what we're anticipating on that?
no. No, I'll just seeing how your hacks get.
No, that's
I
right.
didn't want that-
That's right, but
Yeah.
I thought I forgot that it was done in two different,
That money's coming back, but we've been after that, we being Bill Birch constantly calls them to find out where we're at to get that money and. We're not in the office, we're short staffed.
might be time to get our state legislators on board with that.
So we can, but as far as we've done, the building committee's done all, and Bill Birch has done all we can do. And putting the paperwork in. just
Yeah.
All done.
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Nice, Ken.
Ken, do you have anything else?
No, I just expressed, the numbers, and the impact, which we know the Board of Finance is gonna look at. But no matter if we do all three, 1, 2, we gotta put out the information to the public when this goes to referendum. So that
Absolutely.
way that they make a proper educated decision, how this all plays in.
Right.
I mean,
So,
all three projects have, solid merit,
Yeah,
and it'll be left up to the, to the voters at the referendum, what their thoughts are.
so would the board like to move forward with, and I'm gonna have to take back my motion because I didn't make the appropriate motion. So Dottie, can I withdraw my motion? And Suzanne, you had the second, right?
yeah.
Yes, you may withdraw, and Suzanne needs to withdraw as well.
So you'll withdraw yours?
Yes,
So at this point, I'd like to correct my motion, and make a motion that we send to the Board of Finance for discussion and possible action, the following appropriations. $13,200,000 for an HVAC project at Thompson Public Schools. An appropriation of $500,000 for the security project at the school. And $1.5 million for the track replacement at Thompson Public Schools. Make that motion.
okay, and I'll second that.
Okay, any other discussion on this motion? All in favor of moving these three appropriations to the Board of Finance for consideration, say aye.
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 All right, and we will
Aye.
move that. The Board of Finance will meet tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. So everybody knows it's 5 o'clock, not 6
In
or 7.
person.
There will be a couple members here in person, everybody else will be via Zoom, and it is published. And we'll see what their thoughts are. And then the Board of Selectmen, depending on what the Board of Finance decides, will meet on Thursday morning at 10:30 for anybody, and that will be strictly Zoom. It'll just be a meeting just to discuss
Yeah.
the Board of Finance's decision. And that, now we'll move on to agenda item 13, other business. I make a motion that we accept the resignation of Gloria Harvey from the Planning and Zoning Commission as recording secretary with extreme regret.
And I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Devastated because it's gonna be really difficult to
Yes.
find a recording secretary. If anybody knows anybody that would like to be a recording secretary for planning and zoning, please send them to the selectman's office. Because it's been very challenging to find good recording secretaries. And they did request you, Dottie, but I said they couldn't have you.
You didn't want to give it to again.
That the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen needed you. All right, with that, without any other discussion, all in favor of approving the resignation of Gloria Harvey from Planning and Zoning Commission with regret, say aye.
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 Aye. And that passes. Second, I'll make a motion that we approve the hiring of Dakota Froelich as a maintainer at the Thompson Public Works Garage.
Second.
Okay, motion in a second. Any discussion on this applicant?
No.
No, oh,
All-
no,
no.
sorry.
No, that's okay. All in favor of approving the new hire of Dakota Froelich as a maintainer at the Thompson Public Works Garage, say aye.
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 All right, thank you both. And we are back to citizen comments, agenda item 14. Think about that number. We'll start with the Zoom audience. Any citizen comments at this time? Floor is open. Just state your name and address. Ms. Valerie Clark.
Valerie Clark, 105 Elm Road. The resolution that the selectmen approved tonight, I was trying to listen for the details on what documents this authorizes
Oh, the
the
resolution.
selectmen to turn over to Homeland Security, and it sounded like there was no limitation. And so I'm hoping that you can enlighten me on that.
The documentation is just any expenses that the emergency management department has expended, including phones, radios, gear for any of our constables. And that just all gets submitted for, it's a grant that kind of gives a stipend or a certain amount for all of those items that they expend throughout the year.
Was the word expenses included in the resolution? So was it documents relating to expenses?
It just said documents, executing and delivery of all agreements. So
That sounds like a wide berth.
It may not be limited to just expenses that they
Right.
need information on.
potentially,
Right,
but
so it's documents pertaining to,
Homeland Security.
yeah.
Yeah, this is a grant that we do every year. The
Yeah.
state requires a new resolution every year.
Just seemed like a very broadly worded agreement. So that was my question.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Ms. Sally White.
And if I'm not
Oh, sorry, Ken, go ahead.
mistaken, it's a boilerplate type resolution that the state requires.
Yep, we just copied and pasted.
Correct.
Ms. Sally White.
Hello, I wanted to comment on the school and on the ambulance service. It sounds like the intent is to have a smart building for the school. I hope that there is a complete backup system to operate everything manually and not just have it strictly be a smart building. Also, I was curious, there was mention made of the ambulance attendants using a computer, and I understand that, but I hope that they are also prepared, should their computers not work, to immediately be able to use logbooks and realize that they can function without a computer. I would hope the day would not come when a call is made and they don't respond or they're slow because they say their computer doesn't work. There should never be an excuse because of a computer doesn't work to respond. I will never forget the day I went to the library and was told they couldn't process a book because the computer system was down. I was dumbfounded. I suggested, we'll just write down the title, author on a piece of paper. You can put it in later. Nope, can't do that. But seriously, an entire school building needs to be able to operate in a traditional manual manner, as do the EMS people. Thank you.
Thank you. Floor is open to the virtual audience. Any citizen comments at this time? Please state your name and address. Seeing none, we'll move to the live audience here in the Cine room. Anybody here that would like to speak? Just state your name and address. All right. Hearing and seeing no one. We will move on to tax refunds, agenda item 15. We have one. I make a motion that we refund VCFS Auto Leasing $678.22.
Second.
Okay, motion in a second. Any discussion on this tax refund? All in favor of refunding VCFS Auto Leasing $678.22, say aye.
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 And that motion passes. Make a motion that we adjourn at 8:44 p.m. You guys don't want to adjourn?
I thought maybe Ken wanted to second it.
I was like, okay, come on, guys.
All right, second.
Motion in a second. All in favor of adjournment at 8:44 p.m., say aye.
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 Good night, everybody, and Merry Christmas.
You've lost it. You were